to our last band concert of the year. Thank you so much for coming tonight. The first piece we played for you was Dance of the Shadows by Adrian B. Sims. Set deep within a magical forest, this short, adventurous work is set in 6/8 time, seeks mischief in the woods. The music walks a careful line between excitement and danger as we lurk upon the shadows of the night. Stealthily moving through the woodland, we finally see the shadows of a magnificent and beautiful dance upon reaching the climax. Upon being noticed, we dash out of the forest and escaped unscathed, a thrilling and enchanted adventure.
This piece really changed our band and our understanding of our new time signature this year, 6/8. We got more advanced rhythms, went faster, and had to read in a less familiar key signature. This piece, however, quickly became a favorite to many due to the repetitive rhythm and how quickly we played it. We hope you enjoyed our adventure into the magical forest and our performance of Dance of the Shadows.
The next piece we're going to be playing is called When Summer Takes Flight by Robert W. Smith. When Summer Takes Flight Upon Crystal Waves was inspired by the convergence of two unrelated events. The first was a commission inquiry by Miss D.D. Phillips, director of Morehead City Middle School Band in Morehead City, North Carolina. The second was Miss Smith's move to the lovely seaside community of Navarro, Florida, and the Gulf Islands National Seashore. Morehead City is part of the region known as the Crystal Coast.
North Carolina's Crystal Coast is best known for its pristine beaches, which are on the southern region of North Carolina's Outer Banks. With hundreds of miles of subtropical oceanfront, visitors to the area experience a wide range of natural beauty, from the unspoiled desert beaches of Cape Lookout National Seashore to the bustling vacation meccas. The Crystal Coast is truly one of America's most beautiful seashores. True to its maritime history, Morehead City is home to several marine research facilities. With the composer's love of water, The Summer Takes Flight Upon Crystal Waves captures the still beauty of gentle waters building to the excitement and exuberance of literally flying across the waves.
This piece challenged our lyrical playing and allowed us to keep building on our syncopated rhythm skills that we learned in moving on from our last concert. This piece also has a few tempo changes, meaning the speed of the music changes while we are playing. Finally, this piece features two soloists on saxophone, Audrey Kell and Grayson Sauerbach. We hope you enjoy When Summer Takes Flight.
Our next piece is going to be The Mandalorian by Ludwig Göransson, arranged by Robert Longfield. Ludwig Göransson is a Swedish composer, conductor, and producer. He's honed his craft as a graduate from the Stockholm Royal College of Music, as well as the University of Southern California. In 2019, Göransson won multiple Grammys for his work with artist Childish Gambino. He also won a Grammy that same year for the Black Panthers film score. In 2020, he received his first Emmy for the score to The Mandalorian.
This next piece is quickly recognizable because of the award-winning TV show The Mandalorian, as it is an arrangement from the theme song. We are very excited to play this piece and bring part of the Star Wars universe to life. We hope you enjoy The Mandalorian.
Our final piece that we will be playing for you tonight is Jungle Dance by Brian Balmages. It depicts a celebration in the middle of a jungle, not specific to people. It actually represents the celebration of all living things, animals, plants, and people, all coming together in a high-energy celebration of life and nature. With the exception of one measure, the melody repeats constantly while the textures, rhythms, and harmonies around it change and develop. Jungle Dance was commissioned by the Lawton C. Johnson Summit Middle School bands under the direction of Michael Brick.
This piece challenged us a lot, and it has many independent parts that must all fit together. This piece also has a lot of percussion parts. Each percussionist has their own instruments and parts that they have to take care of independently and can't rely on anyone else to play with them. Finally, this piece really challenged the clarinet players to play out on their own and
Before we play our last piece, we would like to extend a few thank yous. Thank you to our principals, Mrs. Collins and Mr. Riesgraff. Thank you to the Chautauqua manager, Miss Jocelyn, for setting up the concert and running sound and lights. Thank you to the music teachers and lesson teachers for helping us learn music. Thank you to our other teachers for letting us miss class for our rehearsal today. Thank you to our parents for reminding us to practice and encouraging us to keep playing. Thank you to all of Lee for creating the cover art for our program. Finally, thank you to the other students for practicing and making our concert a great success. Before we finish the concert, Ms. Olson would like to recognize some students for their additional time and accomplishments this year.
All right, so again, all the thank yous that Grayson said, thank you so much for coming out tonight. And we want to recognize some students tonight that have put in some extra time, because not only is band work, right, to learn their instruments and practice at home, but some of these students like to take on that extra challenge and do even more work. And it's lovely to me because it makes our program better. So first, we're going to recognize students who participated in solo and ensemble. And as a second-year band, many of us are already familiar with it, but if not, solo ensemble night is a night where students come and perform for a judge. We had ours back in March. Students had to prepare their music, work with their group, coordinate playing, correcting, starting, all of that without a director and on their own time. And this is a huge achievement for young musicians, and I want to be able to recognize them. So if you performed in solo and ensemble night, will you please come up when your name is called to receive your solo ensemble pin? Mrs. Collins, our principal, is here to give our solo ensemble pins out to our students, and then you'll just kind of line up on the front stage. First, we have Anthony Bennett for his mallet solo. Via for her flute solo. Julia for her French horn solo. Small ensemble of Michael, Jonah, Caleb, and Liam. Snare duet, Foster and Joey. Liam, come back. Liam, come back. Where was I? Oh, large ensemble. Abia, Faith, Michaela, Daphne, Julia, Olive, Vivi. Another small ensemble, Faith, Nora, Avery, and Abia. And a snare duet, Joey and Elliot. Can we please give these students a round of applause? All right, solo ensemble kids, I just want to thank you again for your time in March. I know March feels like forever ago since summer is getting so close, but thank you again for coming and spending your evening with me and performing for our adjudicator. You may sit. Yeah. All right. So, like you heard me mention, solo ensemble is an evening where they come and play for an adjudicator. And not only do they just play for them, they actually get graded on different performance aspects. So the 6 different aspects that they were graded on were accuracy and intonation, rhythm, tone quality, articulation, musicality, and technique, all those big fancy music words. Students were rated on a scale of 1 to 5 with a potential of 30 points. In solo and ensemble, there are 4 different ratings, with the top 2 being superior and excellent. I can excitingly share that all students received an excellent or higher that evening, but I do have a special pin to give to students who received a superior rating. Superior ratings were scored 25.5 or higher and displayed the highest level in all categories. So if your name is called, please come up and receive your outstanding performance pin. Anthony Bennett on a mallet solo. Via on her flute solo. just want to mention that our adjudicator decided this year to pick a Best Insight performer, and Julia was our runner-up for our Best Insight. So quite an accomplishment as a 7th grader. I'm excited to see what they have in store for next year. Can we please give these performers a round of applause? All right. Many of our 7th graders performed within 1 or 2 points of a superior, so that's a really close margin, and sometimes that cutoff is just kind of hard, but I heard a lot of these performances on solo ensemble night, and if I could, I mean, maybe I'm biased, I'd give them all superiors, but can't always do that. And then my final item this evening is this past weekend, we had over 30 students from 6th and 7th grade in Matamidi that were accepted into an honor band, which is really quite an outstanding feat. An honor band is an ensemble that's filled with students who love to play, students who are great musicians, students who work hard, and we had many accepted through this process and worked on music with students from 8 different schools that came together to perform a concert in 1 day. So these students showed up at North St. Paul High School at 8:30 a.m., rehearsed for 4 hours, got a snack break, don't worry, and then played a concert. And just to give you some perspective, I gave these students this music back in February. So it's kind of crazy to put 3 pieces together in a day. And this honor band was pretty competitive, and they were performed in the Northeastern Minnesota Band Directors Honor Band. We also had a group of students who traveled to Eau Claire in January, and they participated in the UWEC, University of Wisconsin Eau Claire Honor Band. And those students, that was an even more competitive group. I believe they said about 600 students applied and about 250 were accepted, so we're really excited for those students as well. Sorry if you were in UWEC and NEMDA, it's the same pin. But if you were in NEMDA or UWEC Honor Band, will you please come up when your name is called to receive your pin? Avia. Anthony, who performed in NEMDA and UWEC. Audrey. Avery. Caleb. Daphne. Faith. Glenn. Isaac. Jonah. Julia, who performed in NEMDA and UWEC. Michael. Michaela. Ruby. Tori. Vadon, who's absent tonight because he's sick. Vivi, who's absent because she's on a trip. And Liam, who performed in NEMDA and UWC. Just kidding. Liam just performed in UWC. Sorry, Liam. I got carried away there, buddy. So again, these students took some time out of a Saturday, their precious Saturdays, to come and play in an ensemble 1 or 2 weekends, depending on the student. So can we just celebrate these students one more time with a round of applause? Again, I just want to thank you one last time for coming out this evening. It has been such a wonderful year with these students to be able to progress through music faster and give them pieces that I wanted to play with them last year, but they were too hard. I was just kind of waiting, kept them in my back pocket. It was so exciting to pull those pieces for these students this year and just see them tackle them and see them have success with them. So I'm so excited for what's in store with them next year as 8th graders, and thank you again for coming out this evening. Enjoy our last piece.